Big trade rumors are shaking up the baseball world right now, and if you're a fan of the New York Yankees, you're going to want to hear this. A surprising one for one trade scenario is starting to gain attention, and it involves none other than Anthony Volpe potentially being swapped for a Washington Nationals shortstop. Now, before anyone panics or celebrates too early, let's break down what's actually being talked about and why this rumor is suddenly getting so much attention around the league. The Yankees entered this season believing in their young core, and Anthony Volpe has been a huge part of that plan. Drafted and developed by the organization, Volpe was supposed to represent the future of the Yankees infield. He's young, athletic, and brings energy on both offense and defense. But baseball is a business, and when teams start evaluating their roster for the long term, sometimes even promising players become part of potential trade conversations. Over the past few weeks, insiders and analysts have started discussing the possibility that the Yankees front office might explore a bold move if they feel it strengthens the roster immediately. The rumor suggests a possible one-for-one swap with the Washington Nationals involving their young shortstop C.J. Abrams. Now, this kind of trade would be fascinating because both players are young, talented, and play the same position. It's not a veteran for prospect deal. It's not a salary dump. This would be a pure baseball decision where two teams simply believe a change of scenery might unlock something greater for both players. Anthony Volpe has shown flashes of being an elite player. His speed, defensive instincts, and ability to make highlight plays at shortstop have impressed Yankees fans since his debut. But like many young players adjusting to major league pitching, his offensive consistency has sometimes been questioned. The Yankees lineup is built to compete for championships every year, and the pressure in New York is unlike anywhere else in baseball. That's where this rumor starts to make sense from a theoretical perspective. Some analysts believe that while Volpe has huge potential, the Yankees might consider a different offensive profile at shortstop if it means adding more dynamic hitting to the lineup. C.J. Abrams of the Washington Nationals fits that description. Abrams is known for his incredible speed, smooth defense, and the ability to put pressure on opposing pitchers every time he gets on base. Since arriving in Washington, Abrams has shown that he can develop into a true cornerstone player. His ability to create offense with his legs, steal bases, and stretch singles into doubles makes him one of the most exciting young shortstops in the game. If the Yankees believe Abrams' style fits their lineup better, a swap could be something that at least gets discussed internally. But let's be clear about something important. Right now, this is still just a rumor circulating among baseball insiders and analysts. There has been no official confirmation that the Yankees and Nationals are actively negotiating a deal. However, these types of discussions often start quietly behind the scenes before anything becomes public. Teams constantly evaluate players across the league, and front offices are always asking the same question: could a different player give us a better chance to win? For the Yankees, that question matters more than ever because expectations in New York are always sky high. Fans expect postseason runs, division titles, and ultimately a World Series championship. Every roster decision is made with that goal in mind. From the Nationals' perspective, a trade like this could also make sense depending on how they evaluate their long-term rebuild. Washington has been focusing heavily on young talent and player development after moving on from several superstar players in recent years. Anthony Volpe would fit perfectly into that timeline. He's still early in his career, has multiple years of team control, and could grow into a franchise leader. Sometimes, teams believe that a player simply needs a different environment to truly reach their potential. A move to Washington could allow Volpe to develop with less pressure than the intense spotlight of Yankee Stadium. Of course, Yankees fans have very strong feelings about Anthony Volpe. Many supporters see him as a homegrown star who represents the future of the franchise. The Yankees have always valued players who come through their farm system and become long-term pieces of the organization. Trading someone like Volpe would definitely be a bold and controversial decision. But the Yankees front office has never been afraid to make aggressive moves if they believe it improves the roster. Over the years, we've seen major trades involving big names when the team felt it was necessary to stay competitive at the highest level. Another factor to consider is how both players fit into their team's offensive strategy. The Yankees lineup traditionally focuses on power hitting and run production through extra base hits. Abrams brings a slightly different style that emphasizes speed, contact, and aggressive base running. Some analysts believe adding that element could make the Yankees' offense more balanced and harder for opposing pitchers to predict. Meanwhile, Volpe's combination of defensive ability and developing power could give the Nationals a dynamic young player to build around as they continue shaping their roster for the future. There's also the financial and contract side of things. Both players are still relatively early in their careers and under team control, which makes them extremely valuable assets. That's one reason why a one-for-one trade between two young shortstops would be so unusual, but intriguing. Typically, teams trade prospects for established veterans or package multiple players together. But occasionally, you see these rare situations where two teams simply believe a direct swap benefits both sides equally. If that's the case here, it could become one of the most talked about trades in recent Yankees history. For Yankees fans, the idea of trading Anthony Volpe might feel shocking, but it also reflects how determined the organization is to stay competitive in every possible way. At the end of the day, what makes this rumor so fascinating is the potential impact on both franchises. If the Yankees were to move Volpe for Abrams, it would signal a clear belief that a different type of player could elevate the team's offense and overall strategy. For the Nationals, acquiring Volpe could mean adding another talented young piece to their rebuilding puzzle. Both teams would be betting on long-term upside while hoping the new player fits better within their system. For now, Yankees fans will have to wait and see how this story develops. Trade rumors can evolve quickly in Major League Baseball, especially as teams evaluate their performance and consider adjustments. Whether this rumored one-for-one swap ever becomes reality or simply fades away as speculation, it's definitely one of the most intriguing discussions currently surrounding the Yankees. The possibility of two young shortstops switching teams is the kind of scenario that captures attention across the entire baseball community. So as the season continues and the rumor mill keeps spinning, one thing is certain: the Yankees will keep exploring every opportunity to improve their roster and chase another championship. And if a bold move like this ever does happen, it would instantly become one of the biggest stories in baseball. Until then, all eyes remain on Anthony Volpe, the Yankees front office, and the possibility that a surprising trade could change the future for both New York and Washington.